Now, for me, the Elder Scrolls and Bethesda RPGs have never really scratched that itch, but just simply looking around at the wider gaming landscape, I don't know anybody at this point in time that are over the moon from what they've been hearing about the upcoming, theoretically upcoming Elder Scrolls 6. They've been working on this game forever, it seems like, and honestly, I see a headline like this, and I'm just thinking that this is one of those games. It's kind of like Fable, it's kind of like Duke Nukem Forever that has just been stuck spinning its wheels from an uncertain, kind of self-conscious studio that doesn't really know what to do at this point in time, because Bethesda remasters the Elder Scrolls 6. No. Earlier this year, they remastered Elder Scrolls 5 Oblivion, and that worked extremely well. It's just nobody's playing it anymore, and everybody's kind of gone back to Oblivion, vanilla with a bunch of mods over the top of it, because it's so funny how many games came out this year, and then they just, were gangbusters off rip, and then just fizzled out in record time. But anyways, yes, no. This wasn't a game that they remastered, because obviously Elder Scrolls 6 doesn't exist, hasn't existed, but they remastered the announcement trailer from the original trailer's 7-year, and it's been 7 years since they released the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser trailer saying, hey guys, we're working on a new one. And let's just see. Okay, so 7 years. Okay, so this just came out. Okay, when was this article made? August 19th. Okay, so August of 2018. Holy shit. So August of 2018. I think, what was that? One of Bethesda's last E3 conferences. They announced, hey guys, ES6 is on the way. There has been more time now that has elapsed since the release of that trailer than the gap between the release of Skyrim, the most recent Elder Scrolls game, if you don't count Elder Scrolls Online, and the release of that trailer. Okay, get that, let that sink in for a second. The tease for Elder Scrolls 6 has been out longer than the gap from the release of Skyrim to the tease of the next project. Holy shit, what the fuck is going on over there? Bethesda Game Studios director and executive producer Todd Howard unveiled the Elder Scrolls 6 announcement trailer remastered. God, because that's all they can do at this point in time, huh? Because what happens when you do something original? All right, it's called Starfield. Ooh, during a showcase of the company's upcoming project, sources confirm. We want to take you back to that moment at E3 in 2018, Howard said during a keynote speech. We want to put you in the seat of a games journalist. Why would you want to do that? Well, okay. Well, depending on, maybe they want to actually sit you down in their own auditorium. They want to give you the full games journalist experience. So everybody gets to sit in a Bethesda auditorium in a games journalist chair that has a nice cushy chair with a nice, properly upholstered headrest and a nice velvet fist to sit on. A fan or YouTube reactor seeing the trailer for the first time. Yeah, because it was just wide landscape and then text came up on the screen and I clapped and shit and cum all at the exact same time to watch the camera soar over that nondescript mountain range as the title appears. If we can rekindle the same feeling you had that day, and I think we succeeded as artists. Bro, you're redoing fucking AI slop that somebody can just type into Grok, and you think that you're gonna recapture a moment of something that is just 7 years in the rearview mirror? Who the fuck is excited for this? And honestly, like I said at the beginning, there has been so much news around this game from, people even just tempering expectations that are working on the project, saying, don't really, think too highly of this project. Okay, your expectations are probably way too high. We're just trying to deliver a fun game at the end of the day, guys. I don't know why you're getting so bent out of shape. Because Bethesda probably squandered way too many resources on Starfield. This game has, well, at this point in time, if they had the balls to release a little bit of a teaser, chances are they were already working on this for a couple of years, so you would have to think this game has probably been in development for 10 years at this point. 10 fucking years. When was the last time we got a game that released that was actually good, lived up to potential, that had been on such a time scale? I legitimately cannot think of one. There's none that comes to mind. The only one that was also, got a very early release and then there was just a huge gap of time before we got any other information was Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I like the game. I think that it's an 8 because the characters are exceedingly good. I think the plot gets way too much shit because, oh my god, my plot goes, when at the end of the day, how much do they really really change or fuck up about the ultimate narrative that they're trying to tell right there, that game gets that entire, trilogy, that part 3 is probably going to get announced at the Game Awards this year, and I legitimately can't fucking wait for that. For as much as I don't want winter to come, I am looking forward to the Game Awards, not because of the Game Awards or anything like that specifically. I just want to see that teaser trailer for Final Fantasy VII Reclaim. That's what I'm begging for. I'm itching for that, man. I have nothing else to look forward to in gaming. Like, if there's something good that comes out after that, that's totally fine, but that is the one thing that I'm genuinely looking forward to, because Rebirth was so tremendous and it built on everything that was great about Remake, and then to think that there's going to be so much more on top of it for part 3, if that thing breaks my heart, oh my god, it's just going to be a lot of rage videos will be coming. But going back to Elder Scrolls 6, I mean, yeah, Nomura and a lot of the creative staff that were working on Remake said that, yeah, we probably, teased this way too early. Back when CyberConnect 2, was working on the project, they had to scrap everything, bring development in-house, which first and foremost, Square Enix, why the fuck did you outsource the Final Fantasy VII Remake to another studio, you dumbasses? And then, yeah, at the 11th hour, they had to bring in Teruyuki Endo, who made the battle system for the Monster Hunter series, and he just did an absolute anger for Remake, and then just, elevated to another level. Like, he went beyond Super Saiyan for Rebirth. But Remake was announced, okay, you got that first teaser trailer at E3 2013, and then the game came out in April of 2020, and it was quite good. Now, okay, expectations for Final Fantasy VII Remake were just all the way through the roof, so yeah, it failed to live up to expectations. It ended up realizing all that promise with Rebirth, but, other games that are also, in development hell for like 10 years, well, another one in the past 12 months immediately comes to mind, and that would be Dragon Age the Veilguard. Now, how the fuck well did that work out for, BioWare? Obviously, it led to most of the studio getting gutted, and that wasn't exactly, the point in time where Bethesda hit the iceberg. That would have been, like, if I was to go ahead and track as somebody who was a long-term fan, unlike Bethesda, I was for BioWare, a big long-term fan, I would say, right, like, their iceberg moment was definitely Mass Effect Andromeda. That game had no reason to be that bad, but it was, and it was kind of a, ooh, God, is this what's happening? And then the crack in the hull, oh, that was definitely Anthem. It's like, oh, you guys just can't make games anymore. It's not so much that, EA forced us to make an online shooter. Yeah, you just made a game that was so fundamentally bad and foundationally broken, or it's like, yeah, okay, if you couldn't properly make a BioWare RPG live service game, I mean, you got the Old Republic over there going to my fucking joke to you, but yeah, you couldn't do that again. The Iron Man mech suits, it's like, ooh, there's a severe lack of talent going on over here. But then, of course, the punctured life raft, yeah, that was Veilguard that came out last year, that led to like 6 people still working at BioWare at this point in time, because everybody, after the game's phenomenal critical reception, ended up getting laid off, and one of those laid off individuals found themselves employment at Bethesda. Oh shit. Dragon Age the Veilguard writer, bro, of all of the like, you could have got even like, okay, at least the game didn't crash from the different streams that I watched on it. Like, if you got somebody who is like a programmer, somebody who worked on the code, because I wouldn't even say somebody that worked on like the battle mechanics or any of the the leveling systems, because they were all trash, okay, but you hired a writer of a game that is still getting memed to this very day for having a pronoun sequence and a dead naming, because that's where that screenshot comes from, a dead naming scene. Bro, you deserve all of the failure, because this is self-inflicted at this point. Becomes a new senior quest designer for Bethesda. Oh god, so what, you're going to be able to trek over mountains and rivers and forge your own destiny to go ahead and get hormones from another county. What the fuck are we doing, dude? Sparking Elder Scrolls 6 concerns. Yes, sir. Or ma'am, or they, or them. Bethesda has made headlines by bringing in a Dragon Age the Veilguard writer as its newest senior quest designer. On the surface, it looks like a studio securing an experienced RPG veteran, but for the fans who watch BioWare's latest release collapse. Now, we're going too far into the future by saying Bethesda's latest release collapse, unless we're going back to, was that 2023 when Starfield came out? It's been a wild period of time. The news lands more like a warning. Exactly. The concern is Bethesda is trusting talent from the Veilguard. What does that mean for Elder Scrolls 6? Oh, nothing good. Okay, the individual in question, John Dombrow. Oh god, he was on a lot of the promotional circuit for this game. Oh, fuck. Okay. Has writing credits across several major RPGs, Mass Effect, Andromeda to Anthem. Okay, all of the bad ones. BioShock Infinite DLC. Ooh, fuck. And recently, Dragon Age the Veilguard. Yo, this guy has a history of failure. No wonder he continues to get passed around the industry. You see how incestuous and the need for it to die is right there for the public to see. That list, yeah, might impress industry insiders, but gamers remember the reality. Each of those games fucking stink. Andromeda, I've said it before and I'll say it again. That made me stop playing games and just bring it all the way back until Final Fantasy VII Remake. After playing through a considerable amount of Andromeda up until you got the stupid cat thing, because I was at least holding out that, you know, maybe that character will be decent, and then he had a fucking lisp and he was effeminate. I just stopped playing games from when that game came out, 2017 until, you know, 2020 when Remake came out. That killed my investment in the industry. Like, if this is what we have to look forward to, I'm fucking out. And this guy still has work. What the fuck, man? On big projects. Veilguard in particular, yes, became infamous for leading harder into representation and virtue signaling than role-playing freedom or strong narrative arcs. Yeah, exactly. And it's a meme. It's a joke. I don't even need to reiterate that to you. I've got an entire list, a playlist, in fact, on YouTube specifically, of why Dragon Age the Veilguard is a mess, why it flopped, how badly it flopped, and Bethesda went, you know what? We need to get a little bit more of that over here because there's some talent. Okay, we seen what he added to Mass Effect Andromeda, to Anthem, and you know what? Hey, you know what? We don't need to chalk up the entire failure of Dragon Age the Veilguard on Dombrow's shoulders. Okay, you know, he's got some talent there. Fucking where did you see that? He's been a part of the reason that BioWare has failed, and at a point in time where people's faith in Bethesda is far beyond shaken, congratulations, man. You've played yourself and you've made an already skeptical cohort of people expecting something from Elder Scrolls 6 even more terrified. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo, and you should follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.